Hey fam, I hope we're all doing fine. Welcome to yet another episode of the Evolve with Intent podcast. It's a pleasure to have you here. I'm truly grateful that you are sparing the time to listen to me, whether you're taking a walk or cleaning your house right now, or you probably just listened to my status or my socials and you decided to take a moment and listening to what I have to say. I don't take that for granted. I am grateful. The last time I did this episode was a while ago, and if you listened, it was such a miss, yeah. And I remember at the end of the episode saying that the next episode will be in Matia Kasai's voice, yeah. If you're even and you know that joke where he was talking about how the economy is going to elevate upwards, and yeah, but coming back on here to do another episode is such a process for me, because again, my podcast really is a safe space for young people who are trying to figure life out. And if you haven't listened into my last episode, please pause this, go listen in, and then come back and listen into this, because it will make so much sense. So I don't want to go around talking about what I'm going to talk about. I am just going to get right into it. So when I shared everything that I shared from my last episode, there was a lot of unexpected feedback. Everyone had, at least for people that listen, they all had different perspectives as to, like at the end, and as to why I shouldn't or should do more episodes like that. But then I want to share that what's the point really of this podcast if it's not to share vulnerably? I remember initially when I was starting out, you know how when you're starting your business plan, you have big thing, and then it improves with time until it's like really solid. Starting out, the line that was in there, unsolicited conscious conversations where we share vulnerably in our experiences to help other people learn better. I don't think the vulnerability line has moved out yet. I don't want to come on here and sell you an American dream and bluff and set unrealistic expectations and have on the surface and lived experiences to just make you who is on here to pick value. I want to be able to relate to you. So the last episode I did was pretty vulnerable. It was sad, but it was the sad truth of our lives really for any 20-year-old. And the good news is, from the last time I did that episode to today, I must say I found answers and understanding and closure, and that's the reason I'm here today in this episode. I have so much to share that I've learned from the time I opened up about everything I did, and that's why I keep saying, if you haven't, please pause this right now and go listen in and then come back. A lot will make sense if you listened into the last episode. So with everything that I said in the last episode about how lost, confused, I'm panicking, my life is falling apart, I am under pressure, I am stressed. I said and I told you guys that I am not the only one who goes through these things. I am pretty sure that every young person who's trying to get their life together experiences that on a daily or at least 3 days a week. You are confused, stranded, exhausted, but then again, you want all these things to achieve them. So for me to be able to put out knowledge, I keep acquiring knowledge. I have conversations with different people who are in way better places than I am. I recently listened to an episode by a lady called Mel Robbins. I think you've seen me post about it. She did an episode where she was sharing, I think, 12 things she wished she knew when she was in her 20s. And the one thing that stood out for me, which I'd been thinking about. I think she just re-emphasized it, that your 20s are for that mess. Your 20s are for your confusion, your worst terrible life mistakes, your regrets, you're dealing with girlfriend, boyfriend drama, you're dealing with family struggles. Your 20s are like crazy. You're breaking up with your friends, you have a boyfriend who is not picking up your phone call, you have a girlfriend who is sleeping off. Like, there is a lot you're dealing with, and we're told that that doesn't matter. There is a lot of invalidation that goes around people, young people. They think you're whining about the wrong things. When I did my first public speaking gig at the secondary school, these girls kept asking me, they asked different questions really, but then there was some other ones asking me about things like, oh, I opened up to this friend, I used to watch for her, we were friends, but then when the time started showing and talking to me, and I realized I was doing the same thing. I was invalidating the emotions. My response was, I don't think these things really matter now. The things that actually matter to you are your education and how you get out of this place and leave a great impression. And at the end of the session, one of the friends that had come along told me that she doesn't think that I should invalidate their struggles at that point. That's what's actually keeping them up, giving them sleepless nights. And it made so much sense, because I think even in our 20s, we're invalidated so much about the confusion you're going through. We're told, it'll be fine, don't overthink it. And that doesn't cut it, really. And for me, at least for me, it really didn't cut it until that last episode. Like, it's okay to rant, it's okay to want to sleep in. Like all these things young people are doing today to just get by, day drinking, or I don't know, partying every other weekend, or whatever way we are trying to find a release, is part of the process. And in today's episode, I want to tell you that whatever you're dealing with, escour, go through it and get right through it. The energy we spend trying to deflect or to find solutions, instead, for me, I feel like just makes the whole process hard for you to find answers. We spend so much time trying to cover up. Or you've had a stressful day, you come home, shower, smile, but why don't you just come home and cry about it? Like, open up to a friend. And for me, I'm sharing this because I feel like I found so much closure in ranting. I'm not saying I rant all the time, but like if I'm stressed out about, take for example, money or whatever I'm dealing with, man, or if I'm comparing myself to my friends, they found that jobs I haven't and I'm struggling, or if they're getting married and I know it, if they're buying cars and I know it, I'm not going to bottle that in and pretend what I am waiting for my time. Yes, you know your timing is different, your story is different, but it's not always the easiest thing to know the right thing to do and to go ahead to do it. Please note that as much as we are talking about validation, as much as we are accepting that life is hard and we are allowed to rant about it and share and go through it and cry about it and eat ice cream and sleep in, as much as it's okay for us to go through it, it's also very important that you get a clear line about shedding off this pain and then sucking it in to get your life together. Like, cry, I don't know, sleep in or go through it, and at the same time, don't whine too long about it. Like, don't cry too long about it. When I released that last episode, from the different kinds of feedback that I received, there's so much tough love from the people that care about me, and they told me to suck it in. And I'm here to tell you the same. If you're growing up, adulthood is basically that. The only difference now is that we're probably a Gen Z and we are allowed to do, I don't know, we get away with so much. I've been watching TikToks of people talking about the slightest inconveniences in their lives and then exaggerating them to make it like it was so bad, like they were the victim, and you know, and it's so common with our generation. We cry a lot, you know. Okay, cry about it, but like, get up, That episode, people said I cried a lot, which is very typical of our generation and may have come off the wrong way, but like go through it and then snap out of it. Don't spend the entire 6 months of the year or 3 months crying about how the government is not doing its job in providing job opportunities for you or how there's tribalism in this country. Like, quit the victim card. And like, I mean, of course, by default, there are things that won't be in your favor. Yeah, your tribe, your race, your color, your face card, whatever is at play really, whatever community or environment you're in. Usually, as the way the world would have it, you don't have, the cards are not in your favor, is that what they say? Yeah, but one thing I have learned that if you're a young person and trying to achieve a certain level of success as early as you can, you are required to move totally different, really. You grow thicker skin than most people because you know what's at stake for you. And I don't think, as by my last episode, I don't think I'd made a peace with that. I thought, I don't know what I even thought, probably like a normal random mid-20-year-old, that's how I was thinking about life. But yeah, seriously, the point I want to emphasize here is, as a generation, we tend to cry about even the slightest of inconveniences. And I repeat, I'm not trying to invalidate our emotions, but the closure that I've got, the follow-up conversations that I've had after that episode, really just re-echoed that we need to snap out of the self-pity. The life is hard. It's adulthood. Duh. You're out of your parents' house. You don't have anyone giving you, making sure you have sugar in your house, or rent is paid, or power, or water is running. It's basically on you, and that's just what adulthood is. This one person told me, you're crying about that and that, but that's like the normal life. We see people walking around and you think they don't parent. There is no reason for us to go around crying about, oh my God, the cost of living is. I mean, that's just everyone's daily bread. Like, that's what adulthood actually requires you to do. So whine about it. I don't know. Do what you have to do, and share with a friend. Open up if it's really, really stressful. Like, whatever guts you have to hang in there. If you get to a point and you can't hang in there anymore, it's okay for you to break down and share. But at the same time, snap out of it, get up, stop feeling pity for yourself, and do what you're supposed to do. Because with this podcast, if we're trying to move different and evolve with intent, we're required to have a different level of balls or resilience to be able to get to where we want to be. Which brings me to the point, as a generation, we want cars as early as, 25, 26, which is actually possible. We've set out these really big dreams, which is like very admirable. Our generation probably has the highest level of overachievers, and it's such an inspiration, really. But then when I was having these conversations again, someone asked me if, with other things I mentioned that I want to do with my life, they asked me, are you sure you know the price that you have to pay for the things you say you want? And I wanted to run this by you guys as well. You want, I don't know what your dreams are. You probably want to go for a master's. You want to end up on the national team. You want to get married and have beautiful children. Like there are bunch of things you want to achieve, which is like really, really great. Like, I am super proud of you that at your age you've already set out the way you want your life to be, and you're not just going through any day the way it comes. But I don't think I've ever had to think about that. Do I know the price that I have to pay to do the things that I say I want to do, to be able to achieve them? Because I don't know, I don't even know what I thought when I think about it. I thought if I knew these things, it would be easy to do them. And that's like the biggest realization I arrived to. Just because you know the right thing to do doesn't make it easy to do. Just because you know you're trying to, I don't know, let's say cut down on your weight. And you're supposed to shake your diet and wake up every morning at 5 and go to the gym or run, or those things are like super, super hard. Discipline, consistency, patience is like, are like the hardest things to do, at least for me. And which brings me to the point I wanted to share. I think as a generation, we want immediate success. We truly do. I remember mentioning the line in there that I thought this year would be that year, because I'd spent a year of my podcast and I thought this year would be like that. And I listened to there's a lady that won an award, and in her speech, I've forgotten her name, Hollywood actress, singer, and in her speech, she said she worked hard for 15 years to get that award. And I'm like, what? 15 freaking years? So, and I'm thinking, I'm like, yet I want to see success in 12 months of not even the best hard work, I would say, like, of like crumbling hard work and like consistency and showing up. Like, deep inside, you've not given this project or whatever you're doing your best. But at the same time, I don't know if it's social media that's brainwashing us to believe that things happen overnight. And that's the point I really want to emphasize, that as a generation, we really, really want immediate success. In there, among the things I shared in that episode, a friend told me that, man, you're putting yourself on pressure for nothing. For a 26-year-old, you're doing just fine. You know what you want with your career. Then he mentions these are things about my life. And he's like, for the time he was 26, his headspace wasn't this collected or directed to wherever he wanted to go. And I want to come on here and tell you the same. If you're panicking and losing it and feeling like you're behind, or I've told you guys about how our timings are different, that should re-echo in your head right now. Your timings are different. Our stories are different. Our timelines are different. And for a 26-year-old, if you're doing small gradual steps to where you say you want to be, you're doing great. There is no such thing as success. And that's, I think that's it for me. Like, I want the life people who are probably 10 years older than me have. I want a big house, which I don't even know who sold me that delusion, or I don't even know. Did I watch it in a movie that I thought, at this point, I'm supposed to be driving and not lacking a meal and having some savings up down in my account, and I don't know. So today, I want to let you know that there is no such thing as immediate success. If you want long-lasting success and these things, you have to be willing to put in the work. Show up every day, be motivated, tired, I don't know, sick or cold or whichever situation you're dealing with. It's showing up every single day until that hard work pays off. And our generation needs to get it. Unless you're a planned kid or you have people taking you to big rooms. If you don't, and you're like putting in and investing in the work organically, you need to be very patient. I was talking to my little sister. I went to her visiting day, and she's trying to get on the school basketball team, and she was telling me how I hear, but I'm not ready, which I thought was okay. At least you acknowledge that you're not yet ready to be on the school team. But then in there, I could tell that she was beating herself up. And then I told her, I'm like, man, you started playing basketball a year ago. And for some reason, you want to end up on the school team. Like, make that make sense. Because the school actually has a really good girls basketball team. And I'm telling her, like, make it make sense. That team has girls who have played basketball from the time when they were, 5 or 6. They've played basketball for a longer period of time than you have. And just because you showed up here and showed some hoops, you think what? You like an MVP. And I was trying to do the math for her on the time she plays every day. Then collects stats. Then sum that time up for her in a week. And then I asked her, I'm like, do you think with these hours that you're putting in, would you say that would make you qualify to be in the school team? And she's like, no, of course we have. I'm like, I get it. I'm not saying you're not putting in the work. I'm saying just because you invested a few hours a week on whatever you're trying to do, be honest with yourself. It doesn't actually equate to immediate success, the one that you're looking for. And I was telling her, I'm like, I'm not calling you out, like I'm not making you feel terrible about yourself. I'm telling you these things because I've been dealing with the same. Yeah. Just because how many episodes did I do last year? About 20. So just because you came up with 20 episodes through the year and spoke some small English through it and shared on social media, you think what? That gives you success? But yeah, I know you get my point. Success requires freaking hard work. And I mean, hard work on the days when you don't feel like it, when you know you've set up a plan, you're like, I'm releasing an episode every 2 weeks or every week. I have to show up on LinkedIn every other day. Even on the days you don't feel like it, on the days you're dealing with a heartbreak or hunger or stress, now that's hard work. And of course, after some point, it does pay off. And you need to stop thinking of success as the destination. Like, I have to arrive to a certain point. I think we have to enjoy the process, like embrace the growth. You never used to know how to lay up. And I'm saying now you can lay up on your left. Like, can we find success in the process that last year I would be doing these episodes and I would be panting by the end of a minute, and now I can go in for 5 minutes without trying to gasp for breath because of how good you get at things the more you do it consistently. Do I make sense? I think one of the most annoying or terrible side effects of social media and the internet is it has sold us the illusion that there is always better out there, or another person's life looks, or not even looks, is the other person is doing better than they are. We've been sold the illusion that grass is always greener on the other side. That's why we quit so much. That's why I think we're so carried away by the wrong things, really. And that's why we even believe that success actually does come overnight, because you're looking at someone's life and you're thinking, they probably have it easy, or, and I think that's our biggest root cause of all this trouble. And that's why I really, really like this podcast, because I'm not here to sell you guys the American dream that life is fine. I have my life together. I have money in my bank account. I don't. Most of the days I'm getting through the day with 10, 20K. To the day I don't know what I'm going to eat. And for some reason, I get through life. And what really helps for me is I try as much as I can not to compare myself to others and then touch grass a lot of times. I don't like to live. If you check my social media, the content that I consume is I'm very intentional at it. I'm not, even if I was talking a celebrity, I make sure I'm not carried away into thinking that, take, for example, your man is supposed to buy you, I don't know, flowers on Valentine's to prove that he loves you, or, I don't know, your boss at work is supposed to, I don't know, treat you some type of way for you to believe that, oh, it's a healthy working space. It's a freaking job. Your boss is not supposed to be your friend. Like, there's a lot we've picked off the internet as a generation, and we unrealistically try to put that into real life. So another hard life truth that I arrived at the other day, which I wanted to share, is something about our jobs. Yeah, I don't know if it's still a thing where you turn down a job because but yeah, it still is a thing where you turn down a job because you don't like the job, or I don't know, it doesn't fit with what I want to do in my life. It is a job. It's not something you're supposed to fall in love with and wake up in the morning and want to do. It's a job to get money and get paid. Go there, give it your best shot, make money, and make something of your life. Then maybe be able to invest into these other passion projects that you want to do for the rest of your life. But the delusion that I'm waiting for a job that fits with what I studied at campus or with what I want to do with my life is also one of the things that are still limiting us. Yeah. So quit scare racing or romancing what a job should look like. It's a job. Fold your sleeves and get your hands dirty. So there is a video that I watched on LinkedIn about bad days. Because for someone who really prioritizes her happiness, I try as much as I can to stay cautious and think, why am I happy in this situation? Is it because it's new? Am I actually uncomfortable? Am I being pushed out of my comfort zone? Or this is an actual stressful situation? And when I assess that, I know when I'm just being a baby about things, or when I'm actually now really offended, or when I'm uncomfortable and I just need to give a situation time for me to get comfortable. And I found this lady's video. I thought I should play it for you guys here to get it. Check it out.
5 fails a day. That's my philosophy. The idea that not till the 6th fail do I get to make it a bad day, which means the first one, I'm like, bam, back up. Second one, I'm like, bam, right? Third one, don't even know what happened. Fourth one, I'm like, whatever. 5, I'd be like, ooh, it's close, but it's 12 p.m. and a new day. Whatever that may be, unless I fail a 6th time, it's not a bad day. Now, what that created as a practice is, because I have threshold for the failures versus trying to avoid them, I have now become best in class in failure recovery. I get up faster than anybody else.
This lady is called Caroline Wanga, yeah? And I cannot tell you how I feel each time I watch that video. Each time I'm having a stressful day, because, I mean, for people that live a lot in their heads, the slightest inconvenience can like throw you off it, and you end up having a terrible day. But each time I watch her video, I'm like I'm so pumped. I'm like, it's not a bad day until you fall or fail 5, 6 times. Yeah. So my point is, keep seeking out knowledge. If whatever you're struggling with, I repeat, we are not the first ones to go through it. There is nothing you're experiencing right now that other people haven't gone through. And the beauty of the internet is it gives us access to all these resources. Whatever you're dealing with, speak to people. Don't hold it in. Don't try to paint a perfect picture. No one really, really cares that much. The things I said in the last episode, people probably forgot about them. But I got closer. I moved from that point to this point where I am today. And the me today is a very motivated and open-minded person who is willing to like seek out for answers or advice. When I'm having a stressful day about God knows what, I will speak to people. So grow a support system. It could be different people where you talk about work, or the other you talk about your family or your relationships or whatever things you're interested in. But at the end of the day, the goal is to evolve with intent, yeah? So among the things that I've been trying to embrace or that I've learned over time that I probably just want to refresh your mind is quit playing the victim. Whatever you're going through, you're not the first. That's why the first response when you tell people about your struggles is as in snap out of it, because you're not the first. They went through it and got through it. So don't play the victim of your situation. Yes, it could be all these other external factors that have put you in the situation you are. But at the end of the day, my dear, your life is your responsibility. It's not the coach who didn't give you playing time. It's not the teacher who didn't give you an opportunity to speak in class. It's not your mother who had you from, I don't know, a different dad. It's not the region you come from that doesn't have these opportunities. It's not the government. It's not the weather. It's not global warming. It's not the shoes you're wearing. At some point, you really have to take accountability for the role you play in your own misery? Is it because you overthink? Is it because you take life too seriously? Is it because when you dig deep, if you're conscious enough and dig deep, trust me, you'll find the answers in there. So guys, as I wrap up this episode, I want to emphasize one thing, which Mel Robbins in her podcast emphasized too. Please endeavor to build meaningful relationships in your life. For a 20-year-old or anyone who is just jumping into adulthood, please strive as much as you can to rub shoulders with people that are doing better than you. I cannot emphasize how much that stuff is going to elevate your life. You are out here in a new space. You don't know much about a lot of things. In fact, you don't know anything about a lot of things, about cars, about shoes, about jobs, about how long you should stay at a job before you actually quit, when to ask for a if you build meaningful relationships, you won't have to fall down fast for you to learn a lesson. Most of these things you learn because you have a circle that picks you up, that critiques you, that calls you out, that you can have uncomfortable conversations with, that you can be honest with, that I'm broke, or I don't know how to save, or I blow up my money in a bag. I cannot emphasize how important that part of my life has been, that I have people that I talk to about my career, about my family, about my relationships, about my heart issues, about the things going on in my head. It's made my life so much easier, because when you're going through it, you're thinking, oh, I made a terrible life decision at 22 and I regret it. But sharing with older people lets you know that you'll be fine. I mean, you could have, I don't know, done the worst thing when you were 22 with life, and in that moment, you're even considering suicide, or you're panicking and losing it and on pressure. But talking to people who have been through it tell you one thing: you'll be just fine. You'll get through it. Get out of your head and stop overthinking it. And for me, that's so much relief. For real. It's so much relief when someone tells me, oh, Joanne, you're struggling to wake up in the morning and get things done early enough. Yeah, you know what you're supposed to do, right? Set an alarm. And we all go through it. But when you hear from successful people, because we think, take for example, we think LeBron doesn't struggle with waking up in the morning. Do you think he struggles to keep his dad together? You don't think he struggles with consistency? He does. We all do. I was talking to my mentor sometime back, when, if you listen to that episode, and he said, he's like, what makes you think I have it all easy? I don't. I am just disciplined enough. I was sharing with another lady. I was asking her how easy. I think it was a Sunday evening, and she was sharing about her work on her WhatsApp status, and then I respond, I'm like, how easy is it for you to show up even on a Sunday evening? She's like, this is what she said. She's like, I have a number of people that believe in me, and I don't want to let them down. And I thought that was deep, but the sad truth is that doesn't work on me. I'm like, so I'm supposed to go through this, I don't know, this smoke, because I don't have to for me, I'm sorry, but I'm not afraid of letting people down. Yeah. But then because I told her, I'm like, I don't think that works on me. I know these people believe in me, but at the end of the day, it's me walking this talk, and I cannot squeeze myself under pressure so much, because I don't want to let people down. But then she responds and says, it still comes back to how much you want it to earn. And I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah. And that for real works on me. We come on here and say this, I want to buy a car. I want to da-da-da by this age. I want to da-da-da by that age. It all comes back to how much do you want it. And the biggest realization I've arrived at is there are few successful people simply because success is hard. And I mean hard. I think I was sharing again with someone, and they mentioned the word paradigm shift. Yeah, I think it was my mentor who mentioned. And I'm like, okay. And it made sense because you're usually accustomed to things some type of way, and now you come to the realization of new knowledge. It is not enough to know the right thing to do. It's a whole different revolution of doing what you know is right to get what you want in life. And guys, success is hard. It is discipline. It is patience. It is consistency. It is living in the now and not being so obsessed with the destination where you think you're going to grab an award. Success is just finding beauty in the growth that you're going through. I could not speak French a week ago and now I can speak. I could not drive a car a week ago and now I can. But if you keep thinking of the BMW that you want to buy as the destination, which is your success, it's going to be really, really, really hard for you to convince yourself that you actually have the skin to work through to get to the point. For me, this podcast is like timestamps, really. I do this because I've gone through it. And I think probably 10 years later, it will be a different feeling when we listen to this episode. Because I'm taking you guys through life as it comes to me. When I'm struggling with imposter syndrome, I'll seek answers closer and actually deep-rooted understanding and come on here and share. Wherever I arrive at, I come on here and say, and I hope I am carrying you along, really, as we evolve together intentionally. I don't want this to be conversations I just come on here and rant and babble and it blows off your head. I actually want to get into your head about these things and inspire you to make a difference and then make sense of things that you are struggling to make sense about. So as of today, I think compared to where I was mentally the last time I did an episode, I would say I am more patient with life. I am more paced because I've made peace with the fact that, one, our stories are different. Two, success takes a while. And three, whatever I'm struggling with is what a normal, reasonable 20-year-old should be going through. And as I close out, I hope you find peace in where you are. So long as you know you're doing the work, so long as you know you're taking 1 minute at a time to do what you want to do with your life that's drawing you closer to wherever you want to do. Please be patient with the process. Find joy and delight in knowing that you're putting in the work and trust that it will pay off. Work on your relationships with the people around you. Find a beautiful support system that doesn't make you feel bad about where you are, or that doesn't shrink you or make you feel less of yourself, for you to start calling yourself out because if you're a loser or something like that. Find your tribe. It will help so much in reminding each time that you're doing amazing, that you're doing a good job in showing up every day. I am probably more closer to God now, and my relationships as well, and I'm more honest, really, that I don't have it together. And I found so much peace in that, in acknowledging it and seeking out for knowledge because I don't know better. Now I want to know better. I don't know this. Please teach me this. I don't understand. Like, speak up, yeah, and pray to God and take each day as it comes, really. The overthinking and anxiety comes from overthinking the future. Where am I going to be? Will I be married by 30? Oh my God, I don't have a boyfriend. Oh my God, married. Like, can you just go through right now? Like, this minute and then the next. And the more threshold you grow, you'll find yourself going through a day at a time, a week at a time, a month at a time. Before you know it, things for some reason man just fall in place because you're doing the work. So I've seen tweets that say 6 months or 12 months from now, you'll be in a better position and more money. And I always like to quote and say, if you put in the work. So put in the work and I promise you the next 3-6 months will not find you right where you are right now. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for taking the time to listen into this episode. And I hope you do great things in your life. I hope you find something to wake you up in the morning and look forward to. It could be a passion project, a thing, it could be anything. But I hope you find exciting reasons to wake up and see the light outside. Don't hide. At a time where we're struggling with a lot of our peers are depressed and struggling, but I hope you get up in the morning and have something to look forward to. We all do. I'm sending light and love to every 20-year-old that's trying to get it together. You're not alone. It's gonna be fine. Find your why, find your tribe, and pray to God. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.